You know, I'm here to prove the doubters wrong and to go in there and win as much titles as I can. And I want to be like the greats of this sport. I want to be in the same conversation as Usyk, Terrence Crawford, all those guys. And I still have a long time. I'm 28 years old, and I just want to achieve greatness.
People said at 175 that Benavidez lost power, that he lost hunger, that he lost that monster in him. Turns out, the only thing lost was our ability to read what the hell we were watching. These last two fights didn't show decline, they showed evolution. And this Yarde fight, it exposed the truth behind that evolution in the clearest way possible. Welcome to Abner's Counterpunch. Benavidez came in against Yarde like he was tired of hearing the internet talk about distant fights, and he's not the same guy. He fought like he had a chip on his shoulder. But this wasn't random aggression. You could see it in his eyes. He was on a mission like he had something to lose, and turned out he did. This was the version of Benavidez we didn't see in the last two fights. And it wasn't because he lost something. It's because those opponents never gave him a chance to show it. Two fights where Benavidez didn't obliterate dudes the way that we expected he would. And fight fans only know two modes. He's either unbeatable or he fell off. There's no in between. Those fights weren't about power disappearing. They were about styles muting his weapons. Pressure fighters like Benavidez look amazing when you stand your ground, and they look human when you don't. His last two opponents, they used movement, tight guards, and position resets. They forced him to pace instead of swarm. He just didn't get the dance partner he needed to show the version of himself that we saw against Yarde. So what was he actually doing in those fights if he wasn't declining? What many people missed, including myself, is that he was changing the way that he distributes energy. He was pacing for bigger bodies. This man was prepping for a cruiserweight while still fighting at 175. My personal observation, his shot selection got cleaner, less reckless volume, and more purposeful pressure. He showed patience in the pocket, knowing a big power shot could come at any moment. Yarde, though, was the one thing Benavidez needed. He's still right there. He didn't run, didn't shell up like a turtle. He tried to fight him head on. And that is what activated the pressure engine. I will say that Yarde did a good job defensively in the beginning. Yarde's frame and size gives him durability. His explosive style, though, kept Benavidez honest the first few rounds, but once fatigue set in, his guard, timing, is everything slowed down, and ultimately Benavidez's combination flow was too much for him. And look, I believe that Yarde actually prepped pretty well for this fight in terms of cardio. He didn't look tired to me at all. But however, once Benavidez started landing some body shots and obviously put the pressure on, you have no choice but to get tired. You could see the moment that Yarde's spirit cracked. That look where the confidence drains out and the survival instinct kicks in. And honestly, the stoppage saved him from a much worse ending. I was waiting for his lights to get turned off, but I think this was the best possible outcome for him. And this is the key. The way that Benavidez destroyed Yarde wasn't a he's back performance. It was proof that he never left. He just needed the right opponent to reveal just how much he'd evolved. Yarde looks like a superhero, but Benavidez hits harder. It's not because he's stronger, but it's because his levers allow him to generate better snap. Yarde's huge delts and thick arms help him absorb shots, but they really work against him when it comes to throwing long combinations. Muscle drains energy fast, and really it shortens his extension. Benavidez, on the other hand, has that lanky frame that gives him that natural whip power. It's a cleaner extension and a more relaxed punching flow. Those longer levers generate more momentum and torque, which is why his shots snap harder. To me, Benavidez has some of the best mechanics in the fight game right now. So if this is the version of him moving to cruiserweight, what does that mean for the future? When Benavidez announced he's going to cruiserweight, half the internet said that he's running from Bivol or Better Viv. I disagree though. He's running towards something, not away. Moving to cruiserweight demands efficiency over just pure chaos. Those guys hit harder, timing matters more, and the Yarde version that we saw with Benavidez is the one that he's going to need in order to prove himself at that weight. In fact, that shift explains his last two fights better than anything else. When he announced that he's chasing a belt against Ramirez at cruiserweight, it really split me. On one hand, yes, Benavidez chasing another belt at a higher weight class is definitely something I want to see. On the other hand, I think it should have been after a fight with Bivol and Benavidez. Personally, I prefer to see him fight Bivol. I'd just be really interested to see how the styles match up. Maybe Benavidez could redeem the Mexican style of boxing against the Soviet style. But let's not get it twisted. I don't believe Benavidez is actually done at light heavyweight.
Are you comfortable going up and down? If you get the fight at 75 and then Bivol becomes available, would you come back down to 68?
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. You know what I mean? I want to be double champ. I want to be champ at both weight classes.
If he wants to take the crown at this weight, he's going to need to run through one of these elites first. And if this is the version of Benavidez walking into cruiserweight, then things are going to get really interesting. Because Yarde wasn't the final form test, but Ramirez might be. And that fight could reveal whether this evolution makes Benavidez a monster even at cruiserweight, or maybe it exposes the limits of this transformation. Either way, we're about to find out. Also, on this card, we saw Haney dismantle Norman Jr. with great boxing. However, he did leave some questions unanswered. Click here to see me break that down and subscribe so you don't miss the next Chaos Week breakdown. And I'll catch you later. See ya.